Hello friends, how are you? I hope everyone is doing fine. Now, you are welcome to Gnostic Academy. If this is your first time being on this channel, Gnostic Academy, consider subscribing and also liking the video. In this sharing, we're going to look at the predictions. We're going to look at predictions in Mathematics Paper 1. In other words, preparations. We're going to prepare Mathematics Paper 1 2024. It's never too late, okay? It's never too late. You can get something from this, okay? You can get something. Now, listen. There are key topics. Let me make mention of this first. What we're going to cover here, I'm going to tell you what we're going to cover. What should you expect? Number one, what you should expect. Number two, how to calculate, how to manage your time while it's in the exam. Number three, what questions to start with. Okay, the questions to start with. Now let's get started. The first one. So this is what examination preparations or predictions. Number one, I'm going to say that in paper 1 there are 23 questions. In the ECZ there are 23 questions. Okay, 23 questions. Let's hope it's visible. You can see the 23 questions. Okay, 23 questions here. It's what, 80 marks. All right, 80 marks. 80 marks. That is paper 1, of course. Okay, that is paper 1. Now, there are different topics that come in paper 1. There is algebra, coordinate geometry, indices, sets, mensuration, to mention but a few, speed-time graph. But listen, and listen very carefully. Tomorrow, those who will be watching the video today, okay, what you should expect tomorrow are questions, big questions like question 23. Question 23 usually is speed-time graph, okay, or velocity-time graph. So now that speed-time graph is usually 6 marks, okay, usually 6 marks, okay, that is the maximum, 6 marks. Then there is also the must solve questions, okay, these are must solve questions. The question number 23, the last question, is a must solve question. Please know how to answer that speed time graph. Answer different past papers, okay, different past papers, so that you could become familiar. Remember what I said in the beginning, that it's never too late. You can answer something, okay? You can answer something. Now, 6 marks. The must solve questions. There is also introduction to quadratic function, which are parabolas. Parabola. This is usually 4 marks, and this one comes. It usually comes with an equation, or sometimes a vector. So let me just write 4 marks there. Functions. You must solve functions. Okay? Functions, Swati, 4 marks. Okay? 4 marks, functions are there. By the way, these are there. Okay? These questions are there. Now, variation, you should also solve what? Variation. Variation is also 4 marks. I want to get as good people. Now, the other questions that you must solve: linear inequalities. Linear what? Linear inequalities. Linear inequations or inequalities. This is 5 marks. You must solve. I'm going to post, in fact, I've posted. Just to check on the video, on the videos there, video list, you're going to find these. Just today, I've posted linear inequalities, 2 videos on linear inequalities, variation functions, parabolas, they're there. Speed time graph, you find them. Okay? Now, apart from these, what else should you concentrate on? What else should you concentrate on? You should concentrate on bearings. Okay? Bearings Bearings are also what? Also 4 marks. Okay, 4 marks. Now, remember, if we're still together up to this point, let me mention to you this. Do not spend more time than the allocated marks. What I mean is, if it is 4 marks, a question is 4 marks, don't spend more than 4 minutes. Spend less than 4 minutes. Okay, that's how you maximize time. That's how you manage time in the final what? In the final exam, my good friends. Okay, in the final exam, that's how you maximize what? You maximize time. Now, algebra, there is a factorizing completely, that is 2 marks. There is also the issue of simplifying, okay, simplifying 2 marks. So let me just write algebra as 4 marks. Usually the first or second question is algebra. Okay, algebra 4 marks. Okay, if a question is 2 marks, algebra, like simplify 2 marks, spend less than 2 minutes, my good friends. Spend less than what? Less than 2 minutes, so that you maximize time. Remember, you're supposed to use a calculator here. Okay, mathematics, you need to find, shortest rules, but acceptable, by the way, acceptable ways of solving what? Of solving mathematics, those works. Now, before I mention another type of questions that we should answer tomorrow, okay, or in the exam, let me make mention of this. In mathematics paper 1, you don't use a calculator. Then what do you do? This is simple. This is general principle. This is what I usually tell. We usually tell our students at Gnostic Academy. Make every calculation simple. What I mean is this. Come with me. If you have a question like this, 2x over 4 is equals to, let me just write 3 here, is equals to 27, like this. Okay, and this is paper 1. What do we do? You know that you're going to cross multiply, and it will be 3x is equals to 4 times 27. This is what I mean, making every step or calculation simple. Don't multiply 7 times 4 times 7, because 4 times 7 you're going to have, is that 8, 2, 8, it is 108, something like this. 10108, if I'm not mistaken. 10108. Now 108, this is a bigger number to some of you, okay, to deal with this question. So what you do is just to show that you are multiplying. Just to show that you're multiplying by saying 4 multiplied by 27, like this. Okay, then divide both sides by 3, even here by what? By 3, making simple calculation, because you're not supposed to use a calculator. This and this cancel. X is equals to, you check, can 3 go into 4 without leaving a remainder? No. Can 3 go into 27? Yes. 3 here, 1, 3 here, it is 3 times. So 4 times 3 is just 12. Instead of that now dealing with bigger numbers, like 3 into 108, 3 into 108, so you waste time, because mathematics paper 1 is about what? Managing time, maximizing time. Okay, maximizing time. I think this principle of this saying, I've been doing it in different videos. Okay, so as you'll be watching mathematics paper 1, I also mentioned this. Okay, that's how we maximize what? Time. Make every calculation simple as what? As possible. Simple as possible. Listen, apart from algebra here, you should also solve matrices. Matrices is what? 3 marks. Matrices is 3 marks. But for matrices, you also have what? Sets. Sets is also what? 3 marks. The first one for this shading, sometimes you're not supposed to, you're supposed to come up, it's already shaded, the set notation, you're asked to come up with a set notation, the set is already what? Already shaded for you. Listen, another one that you need to solve is AP, arithmetic progression, which is also what? 3 marks. Which is also 3 marks. When you add these, you're also doing what? Doing well. I mean, you have enough marks, but you have not exhausted all the questions in the final exam. Probability is usually 1 mark. So don't waste the time solving a 1 mark question more than a minute. Okay? Earth geometry. Earth geometry is 3 marks. Yeah, Earth geometry 3 marks in paper 1. Okay, 3 marks in paper 1. Okay, then there is also approximation. Approximation, you find it there. Approximation is 4 marks. Okay, this is where you find absolute error, percentage error, something like what? Something like that. Now, everything I'm writing here, you find them. That's a good part of mathematics paper 1. Okay, it is predictable. It is predictable. Just focus on this. Okay, predictable. Approximation. The other thing is what? Is Seco theorems. Okay, Seco theorems. There are about 80 theorems here. You don't just come overnight. You don't just know these overnight. No, they're about what? They're about 80 theorems. Okay, about 80 theorems. Okay, here. So you need to know them one by one. Are we together, guys? One by one. Okay. Now, Seco theorems is what? Is 4 marks. Approximation 4 marks as well. What else should you expect tomorrow? Coordinate geometry. That is good. Coordinate what? Coordinate geometry. Coordinate geometry is there. Now, on coordinate geometry, these are the questions that you should expect tomorrow. The first question is, they can either ask you 3 things. Either ask you on gradient. If it's not gradient, then it is coordinates of the midpoint, okay? The midpoint. If it's not the midpoint, then it is a distance between 2 given points. You should know that. Now, the second question is about the equations of normal and what? I mean, not normal, sorry, I'm going to calculus. Parallel and perpendicular lines, okay? Equations of parallel and perpendicular lines, okay? Know that, my good friends, okay? It is never too late. I believe, totally believe, okay, that you can do it even in the last minute. Okay. Coordinate geometry, let's just write it as, let's write 4 marks. My good friends in the indices, you'll find these. Indices, this is where I find something like this. Let's say 27 to the power 2 over 3. You're taught to evaluate. Okay, you're taught to evaluate 27 like this one, where you find the cube root of 27, the answer raised to the power 2, something like this. Then another thing that is there, you find it. Okay, mark my word, is equations involving indices. Equations involving indices are equations like x to the power 3 is equals to 27, something like this. Okay, where you have a known base. Sometimes you may have a known what? A known power. Like this. You are told to solve this equation. Okay, you find one of these in the paper, in the mathematics paper too. Okay, well, I've been dealing with exams for 8 to 9 years, so I know the pattern. Mathematics or exam is about understanding the pattern using past papers. So I'm quite confident. There is that so much confidence in me that I can even predict, tell you what is coming there. Not really an exact question, but similar questions. Okay. Let me even make mention of this similarity and congruence. Okay? Similarity and congruence. This is 4 marks. 4 marks. This is 4. 2. It is 2 marks usually. It is usually 2 marks. Now, do not panic. You can still get a distinction. I'm not saying that you should be lazy. What I'm telling you is you can still get a distinction even if you skip other questions. But those are bad manners. Answer all the questions where possible. But start with the ones that you know. Okay? Because if you start with the first question, for instance, you know it boosts your morale for the second question. Now, the second question, if you don't know it, then you're struggling solving it. Don't waste the time. If you don't know it, skip it. Go to the questions that you know. Come back to that one later. Maybe by that time you'd have realized one or two things. Are we together, my good friends? Maybe you've realized one or two things by then. Why are you skipping? Because listen, the human brain is very sensitive. The human brain doesn't like negativity. When someone says, "Oh, you're ugly, you're you're what," you be like depressed. The mind, you become low. Okay, you become low. You start even thinking, maybe I'm not beautiful, I'm ugly, I'm whatever. What I'm trying to say is, if the question challenges you, you don't know how to solve it, you don't know whatever, now thinking, no, maybe I'll fail, maybe whatever, it will drain your energy for solving the other question. You don't even have the zeal. You even forget some other formulae for the next questions. So please, if you don't know the question, skip it, go to the next, solve. That's how you solve the exams. Don't follow the way there are question 1, 2, 3, up to 23. No. Solve question 1. If you don't know question 2, skip it, go to another question. You realize at the end you've answered all the questions. Mark my word. Okay? Now, there are a lot of topics that I've not listed here. A number of topics that I've not listed here. But these, if you just do these, guys, distinction. Then paper 1, you are safe. Paper 2, paper 2 is very easy. Okay? If you're still together up to this time, please consider subscribing if this content is adding value to you. Okay, so if I have enough time, guys, I'll be even tagging the questions. I'll be even tagging the questions, like type of questions based on these topics, right? Based on these topics. Okay, thank you so much. I think that's all. I don't want to make this one too long. I think that's all about paper 1. About paper 1. Okay, just to focus on these, guys. You make it. Okay, you make it. I love you all, and stay focused in the final exam. Stay focused. All right, concentrate. Don't be punctual. Follow instructions. Carry your whatever you're supposed to carry. If it's an identity card, go with it. Okay, don't be stubborn during the exam. Be humble. Whatever they're telling you to do it. Follow instructions. Okay? You will thank me later. Thank you so much. God bless you.